Jessie and Nichols, George, and I'm coming to you today with an aspect that I've heard a lot of people dealing with lately, and that is the aspect of detachment. And while this can really be a big one for people because people really feel like, well, if I'm detaching, that means that everything is growing weaker. But what I'm going to talk about today is how detachment actually strengthens our relationships, whether those are personal or business relationships or even our relationship with ourselves. And what happens in this situation is that when we're attached to people, it actually creates this energy of locking people into like a borrower-lender situation. And we don't want to be neither a borrower or a lender in life, whether that's money or whether that's energy or anything like that. And when we create attachments, we actually create these open channels. And you might have heard the phrase of people saying, you got to cut those cords, right? Those cutting of cords is like a form of detachment from people. Because when we keep these cords with people, what happens is they come in and they can tend to suck the energy out of us. That's where we hear that term, energy vampires. And that can become very intense, very draining on us, especially if somebody is an empath. They will get completely drained out by that. But what we don't realize with attachments oftentimes is that attachments are a form of control. So whatever we're trying to stay attached to is actually a hidden form of manipulation and control in our life. And that is definitely not a space that we want to be in. And people say, well, it's not that easy. If I detach, and they have this concept that if I detach from people, then I don't care about them anymore. It means that I don't love them. It means that I become cold and callous and we don't have a connection anymore. And that's a huge misinterpretation because in reality, we have a better connection with them. Because when we detach, what we do is we allow each person within that dynamic to become their own individual self. And when we're our individual self, then we can be more fully present for people. We can be there on a grander, bigger, greater scale for them. And we're standing in our own power. So imagine when you stand in your own power, how much stronger do you feel? How much more confident do you feel? How much more present are you with that person? You're much more willing to give and give from your heart. And you're much more willing to be compassionate with them because you're in your power. It's when we feel weak, it's when we feel insecure that we struggle and we create these attachments, right? If we feel like we're losing something, we try to grab onto it even tighter. And there's a phrase that used to be from an old rock song called hold on loosely. And that's the thing is, you're not walking away from that person, you're not deserting that person, you're strictly creating a different dynamic where you can look at things from a clear mind, from your space of power, from your space of being in your full potential. So you go actually from a space of neediness, dependentness, controlling, victim abuser type spaces into a much more evolved, open, rewarding, fulfilling, life-giving space. And so from this space, it then keeps people from getting drained out. And from this space, people can actually excel. They can actually rise to the next level. They can keep growing with each other if they're in a relationship or in a business area. What they can do is they can actually then start reaching their potential for that field and keep growing themselves on a professional level that makes them more desired. So the flip side of it is the less attached we are, actually the more desired we become. And that is how detachment actually works to our benefit and actually strengthens our relationships. It's not that you care any less. Matter of fact, you open your heart to caring more when you're able to detach from people and things. And when we do this, again, we allow everybody and everything in the situation to reach its full potential. This has been Jessie and Nichols, George, and if you'd like to find out more about my work, my videos, events that I have going on, I have an amazing lineup of stuff all the time. Go check out my website. I've also got some free tools there to help you out as well, and that is Jessie and Nichols, George, the number one.com. You take care and have a great day.